Hello students, next we will try to understand construction and working of p-channel JFET. In the previous video I explained you what exactly we mean by JFET and construction and working of n-channel JFET. Similarly we will try to understand p-channel JFET. Okay, p-channel JFET. The construction part will be almost similar. If you recall, when we designed n-channel JFET, we took n-type semiconductor. Now, when we design or when we construct a p-channel JFET, we will use p-type semiconductor. Okay, so p-type semiconductor, that means a semiconductor. This is p-type semiconductor. P-type semiconductor, that means a semiconductor which has majority charge carrier as holes. Okay, majority charge carrier as holes. So these two terminals will be named exactly same as n-channel. From where the charge carrier will move is called as source, and where it will get attracted or drained is called as drain. So these are the two terminals, source and drain. And if you remember or recall, whenever we design a JFET, we need to have two PN junction on the either side of the semiconductor. To form PN junction, already we have P region now. If you remember, in n-channel JFET we doped trivalent impurity so that we get P region. Okay, on both the sides we get P region by doping trivalent impurity in case of n-channel JFET. Now for p-type p-channel JFET, we have p-type semiconductor, so we already have a P region. So what we have to dope is, we have to dope pentavalent impurity so that what we get here is an N region and of course forms a PN junction. Okay, and you know that as soon as a PN junction is formed, what happens is there will be a depletion layer, a potential barrier which will be there at the junction, right? So this is the potential barrier. Okay, and these two terminals are connected together. These two terminals are internally always connected together, and a common terminal will be taken out called as, what is that terminal? Gate. So in BJT we had emitter, base, collector, and in JFET we have source, drain and gate. Okay, source, drain and gate. So this is the construction part of p-channel JFET. Terminal source will repel all the holes which will move towards the drain, which will constitute current in a p-channel JFET. So in a p-channel JFET, majority charge carrier or current conduction will be because of holes. Okay, and of course this terminal will repel the holes, this terminal will accept the holes, therefore it is called as source and this is called as drain. And what we did is, on either side of the semiconductor we have doped pentavalent impurity so that we get N region. As soon as a PN junction is formed, a depletion layer will be there, and the area between these two PN junction is called as channel, or I can say channel width. Okay, channel width. This channel width will define how many number of holes or the charge carrier will move from source to drain. Okay, and these two PN junction will be connected together and it will be considered as one terminal, which terminal will be gate. Okay, so this is the construction part. Next we will try to understand the operation or the working part. Okay, so when I will explain working of p-channel JFET, I will not show these two terminals are internally connected. I will just take out one terminal. It has to be assumed that these two terminals are internally connected. Okay, so again we have drain, we have source, then we have gate, on either side we will dope pentavalent impurity to form a p-n junction. Okay, and of course as soon as a p-n junction will be formed, a depletion layer will be there. Okay, and as this is a p-type semiconductor, it will have large amount of holes which will be available to flow from source to drain. Okay, the common terminal which will be taken out of these two p-n junction will be called as gate. So initially what we will do is we will apply a potential between drain and source such a way that current flows from source to drain. Okay, so now just look at the circuit diagram and can you tell me what should be the potential which has to be applied between source and drain so that current flows from source to drain? So for that, first we should know that the current in a p-type JFET will be p-channel JFET will be because of holes. So holes has to move from source towards drain, only then we say the current is flowing through the transistor. So what has to be done? Holes should be connected to which terminal? Same terminal will repel each other, so it will be connected to positive, negative, like this, plus and minus. Positive terminal will repel holes, and this potential which has been applied is applied between two terminals, source and drain, therefore it is called as VDS. It is called as VDS. Okay, so now as soon as this potential is applied, at this point there is no opposition to the charge carrier. The channel width is maximum. So if the channel width is maximum, what happens is the charge carrier will easily travel from source to drain. Okay, they will easily travel from source to drain. Okay, and this current which is flowing from source to drain has to be externally controlled by applying a field, external field. That is how the name field effect transistor is there. So what has to be done is every time when the current has to be controlled, the gate to source terminal has to be reverse bias. Reverse bias, see how it has to be done. Source is P region, gate is N region. Reverse bias means N should be connected to positive and P should be connected to negative. So this is plus, this is minus. This potential is called as VGS, that is gate to source voltage. Okay, and initially what I will do is I will put up a switch which is in open state. That means until the switch is open, there is no potential between gate and source. So the first case is when VGS is equal to 0. Tell me what happens when VGS is equal to 0. When VGS is equal to 0, that means there is no gate to source voltage. Okay, if there is no gate to source voltage, there is no reverse bias potential to the PN junction. The depletion layer width will be very small or minimum at that point. So the channel width between these two PN junction will be maximum, and if the channel width is maximum, or the charge carrier which will move from source to drain will be maximum, and that current which will be flowing in the transistor is called as IDS. This is the charge carrier which is moving from source to drain. We specify it as IDS. So when VGS is equal to 0, IDS is maximum. Okay, IDS is maximum. Now suppose we switch on this terminal or this switch. As soon as the switch is on, what happens is now there will be a reverse bias potential between gate and source. So what happens is the depletion layer width, as the reverse bias to the PN junction is increased, the depletion layer width increases. And what happens to the when the depletion layer width increases? The channel width decreases. That means now less amount of charge carrier will move from source to drain. So when I say what I can say is when VGS is increased, what happens to IDS? IDS decreases. Okay, IDS decreases. And when VGS is maximum, When VGS is maximum, maximum means we will keep on increasing the reverse bias voltage, and when we keep on increasing the reverse bias voltage, see what happens is the depletion layer width entirely occupies the channel width. That means what will happen is there will be no channel width, and if there is no channel width, will there be any possibility of charge carrier moving from source to drain? Of course not. That means at this point no current is flowing from source to drain. That means IDS will be equal to 0. Okay, IDS will be equal to 0. So the current which is flowing in the transistor is controlled by the external field which has been applied. Therefore it is called as field effect transistor, and this type specifically is called as junction field effect transistor. Okay, so this is nothing but the construction and working of P channel JFET. Okay, so now when you correlate N channel and P channel, it becomes very easy for you to understand how exactly we construct a JFET and what is the working of that particular JFET. Okay, so it is very simple. See, when you have to draw, if you take N channel JFET, you take N type semiconductor. If you have to construct P channel JFET, you take P type semiconductor. Okay, the two terminal will be named as source and drain. Okay, and then we have to form a PN junction. So if it is N channel, you dope trivalent impurity to get P region. If you want to design a P channel, then what you have to do is you have to dope pentavalent impurity to get N region, and these two PN junctions are internally connected together, and one more terminal is taken out, is called as gate. Okay, and then when you understand the operation, what you do is you apply polarity to source and drain such that charge carrier will move from source to drain. Okay, so if it is N channel, source is connected to negative, drain is connected to positive. Negative terminal will repel the electrons will move towards drain and get attracted by the positive terminal. And if it is P channel JFET, source will be connected to positive, drain will be connected to negative. Positive terminal will repel holes will move towards drain and get attracted by the negative terminal. That current will be called as IDS, and the potential between the drain and source will be called as VDS. And the current which will be flowing from source to drain will be controlled by the external potential which has been applied between gate and source. And remember always that gate and source terminal should always be reversed bias condition. It should be in reversed bias condition. Okay, so this is all about construction and working of N channel and P channel JFET. I hope you have understood. Next, let us try to understand the electrical property of JFET. We call it as drain characteristics of course JFET, and the diagram or the graph which I am going to draw and explain is true for both N channel as well as P channel. Okay, so when you draw a drain characteristics, you draw a graph between VDS on the x-axis, which will be in voltage, and IDS on y-axis, which will be in milliampere. Okay, let's say this is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and say this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 milliampere. Okay. Now in the previous section I explained you what happens when there is no external potential applied. External potential means reverse bias potential. No reverse bias potential applied between gate and source. So what will happen if there is no external potential is applied between gate and source? Of course, the two PN junction will not be externally supplied. That reverse bias will not be there for the two PN junctions. So what happens to the depletion layer? The depletion layer will be at its minimum, and if the depletion layer is at its minimum, the channel width is maximum, right? For channel width is maximum, so for a small VDS current will increase rapidly. Okay, so the graph will be like this. This is the graph for when VGS equals to 0. Okay, now next what I'll do is I will keep VDS and IDS constant. I will change VGS, gate to source voltage. I am increasing the reverse bias voltage. Tell me what happens when VGS is increasing? IDS will decrease for the same VDS potential, right? Drain to source potential उतना ही रखेंगे, IDS कम हो जाएगा. क्यों? क्योंकि अगर मैंने रिवर्स बायस पोटेंशियल बढ़ाया तो डिप्लीशन लेयर विड्थ बढ़ेगी, चैनल विड्थ कम होगी. चैनल विड्थ कम होगी तो कम चार्ज कैरियर ड्रेन से सोर्स में जाएंगे, तो IDS विल डिक्रीज. ओके, सो IDS विल डिक्रीज. IDS will decrease. Say VGS is equal to minus volt. I am writing this as minus because I am applying a reverse bias potential between gate and source. So therefore I am specifying it by minus sign. Okay. Similarly, so when I keep on increasing the reverse bias voltage for a given value of VDS, IDS will keep on decreasing. VGS is equal to minus 3. Okay, so this is called as drain characteristics of junction field effect transistor. Okay, so what is the first thing which we can specify? We can specify that the drain characteristics for JFET is drawn between VDS on x-axis and IDS on y-axis for constant VGS. Okay, second, when VGS is equal to 0, IDS is maximum. IDS is maximum for a particular value of VDS, right? Because the channel width is maximum at this point when VGS is equal to 0. Third, when VGS is gradually increased, the drain to source current decreases. Drain to source current, that is IDS, decreases for a given value of VDS. Okay, so these are the observations of drain characteristics of JFET from the graph which has been drawn between VDS and IDS for a constant value of VGS. So keeping in reference this graph and this observation, we will try to understand few parameters of JFET which is there in your course. Okay, now let us try to understand the important parameters of JFET on the basis of the drain characteristics of JFET. Okay, so next is JFET parameter. In that, first is dynamic drain resistance. Dynamic drain resistance specified by RD. Okay, specified by RD, and it is the ratio of it is the ratio of small change in VDS, that means drain to source voltage, to the small change in IDS, that is drain to source current, at constant value of VGS. Okay, so it is given by RD is given by delta VDS, that means change in VDS, to the change in IDS at constant VGS. Okay, typically RD for N channel or a P channel JFET is around 400 kilo ohms. Okay, basically it's a impedance of the circuit. Okay, second is mutual conductance or transconduction. It is specified as GM. Okay, so it is the ratio of small change in IDS to the small change in VGS, that means gate to source voltage, at constant value of VDS. Okay, so GM is specified as delta IDS upon delta VGS at constant VDS. Okay, the unit of GM is Siemens, specified by capital S, and typically GM for a N channel or a P channel JFET is between 150 mu S to 200 mu S. Okay, so these are the first two important parameters of JFET. I hope you have understood. Now the last of the JFET parameter, the third one, is amplification factor, denoted by mu. Okay, denoted by mu. It is the ratio of drain to source voltage, that means drain to source voltage means VDS, to the ratio to the gate to source voltage VGS at constant value of IDS. Okay, so and of course this is represented by mu, so mu will be delta VDS upon delta VGS at constant IDS. Okay, and typically mu is 100 for a particular designed JFET. Okay, so we try to understand the electrical parameter of JFET and the important parameters of JFET. So this is all about JFET, and in the next class we will try to understand MOSFET. I hope you have understood. Thank you.